Everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Beth with Create with Beth, and today we're going to make this really cute, fun, and festive holiday card. It's so adorable. We're using non-traditional Christmas colors, but I think it'll still be fun. So the stamp set that we're using is from Gina K Designs. It is Festive Penguins. I love this stamp set. These penguins are just so adorable. And it does come with coordinating dies. We'll be using those as well. So let's bring in our little bits and pieces and get started on this card. So to start, we have a card base that is bubblegum cardstock, and it is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And then we have a piece of soft seafoam cardstock that measures 5.25 by 4, and that's just going to mat on our card front base just like this. And then I have a couple pieces of white cardstock that measure 3.75 by 5. One is for the inside and the other is for our background that we're going to be ink blending. So I have my waffle flower mat out here, and we're going to be doing some ink blending with bubblegum pink ink from Gina K. So let me just get my ink blending tool out here, get the right topper on, and I'm going to be using the stencil, the cloudy stencil from Lawn Fawn. So we'll just get this ready, and we're going to line this up. Ink up our ink blending tool, and I'm going to kind of come in with a off from the side, and I'm using a very light touch. I don't want it to be super dark, whoops, but I do want it to show up for us. And I got a little splotchy there, but we're just going to keep going even if we make some mistakes. Okay, there's our first little cloud. Then we're going to rotate it and go on with our second formation. Just like so. And rotate it again. I'm not doing a super good job of ink blending, but it's getting on there. So I think that's where we're going to stop. And then we're going to do some more ink blending while I have my mat out here. I have another piece of white cardstock that I have cut into a snowbank using the stitched hillside borders from Lawn Fawn. I used this, which one did I use? Maybe I used this one, just to create a little snowbank for us. So we're going to change out our blending tool. And this time I'm going to bring in Ocean Mist from Gina K. What I want to do is create just a little illusion of snow across the top of our stitched border here. You don't need a lot, just a little. There we go. There's our snow. Okay, so we're going to wipe this off and set this aside. We're done with that. Okay, then we're going to bring back our panel that we had, and we're going to do some embossing with this. I need to get my embossing powder out. I'm going to go over this with my anti-static tool. And then I have the snowflakes from that stamp set. I have 3 of them that I mounted on a block, and I'm going to bring in my Versamark ink. Now it is going to be really kind of hard to see where we stamp these. So, you know what? Let's bring in my foam mat so we get a good image. I'm just going to come in here off to the side. And we'll just stamp some random snowflakes. I think I'm actually going to put the embossing powder on as I go along so I can kind of see where these snowflakes are, because otherwise I am kind of acting blind here. Okay, you can kind of see them. They're not showing up a whole lot. It's tricky, but we'll make it work. Okay, we'll ink it up again, and we're going to rotate it so that we get a varying design. For some reason, it does not want to stick to my big snowflake. There we go. Okay, and then we'll just do one more. And kind of like that. Okay, there we go. We have our snowflakes on there. So we'll carefully put our things away, and we will bring in, actually let me clean the stamps off real quick. I like to clean my stamps off as I go along. Okay, I'm going to bring in my embossing tool, my heat tool. Just need to plug it in, and we'll get it warming up for us. I'm going to come in from the back first. This can sometimes help with the warping. And we'll just emboss this. As soon as it turns white, you want to move on to your next snowflake so you don't end up burning your paper. Okay, I think we got it, guys. And there are our embossed snowflakes. So cute. Okay, we're going to set this aside for a moment, and we're going to bring back our, actually first I'm going to get rid of this and get rid of all of that embossing powder so I'm not working on a gritty mat. Alright, I'm going to bring back my Stamp and Pierce tool, and we're going to do some stamping. We're going to bring in the Snowbank and the bubblegum pink ink. Try saying that 3 times fast. Okay, we are going to bring in the Happy Christmas stamp, and we'll ink that up good. And stamp it right there. There we go. Set that aside, and then we'll bring in the inside piece for our card. And I have the sentiment that says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas and a cup of good cheer." We'll ink that up again in the bubblegum ink, pink ink. Stamp that at the top. There we go. Okay, we're done with our stamping. And we can start to assemble the card now. So let's bring in our card base and our mat. Whoops. My adhesive is tearing my cardstock. That's not good. There we go. And then we're going to bring in our piece here. Let's see, do we need, I want to make sure that our snowbank fits first in case we have to trim it. But nope, it looks like it's going to fit fine. I'm going to use liquid glue for this because it's a little bit warped. Hope you're all having a wonderful day out there, getting ready for Thanksgiving. I know I went shopping yesterday at Walmart and I was very pleased that it went pretty smoothly. Everyone seemed to be in a really happy holiday mood, which was nice. It's always nice if people are in a good mood. Okay, we're gonna adhere this just like this. And then we're going to bring in our snowbank. Now you could certainly pop this up with dimensionals. I am keeping it flat because there are so many layers here, and I know I do want to mail this card. Put our snowbank on the bottom. Okay, so I went ahead earlier beforehand and stamped and cut out all of my pieces. I colored them with my Spectrum Noir markers because otherwise this video would have been really super long, and my coloring is not fancy, so it's not like you're missing anything. So here's all the little images. We're going to go ahead and glue these down. We'll start with the middle penguin. Come here. Again, you could pop these up if you want. These guys are so cute. Very, very adorable. Very fun to color. I'm going to bring him down just a little bit. There we go. And I used alcohol markers for these, but you could use water-based markers. You could use colored pencils. You can watercolor them. Any of that would look super cute. And I really like the non-traditional Christmas colors. I like traditional colors, but it's fun to switch it up. And for some reason, when I look at these penguins, I think pastels. I don't know why, but I just do. Okay, we have our little coffee cups, or hot chocolate cups, whatever they are. And we'll glue these down. There's 2 of these in the set. So you have one facing one way and one facing the other way, along with 2 different dies, which makes it kind of cool. So you can have them facing each other. I like when stamp companies do that. All right, I'm going to hold that down for a minute. It's not wanting to stick very good for me. Okay, is that cute so far? All right, we're going to go ahead and put our inside panel in. Just like so. And this guy's wanting to pop up, so let's hold that down for a minute. All right, we're almost done. We're going to add some bling. I have the clear drops, the iridescent clear drops from Pink Fresh Studios. We're going to use some of those. And let's use my little dish here to make it easier. I'm going to put down 2 of these, or maybe more. Oops, it'll help if I add my glue first. So the lights here are colored black, but you can add your gems to these to dress them up. So, and I'm going to use different sizes. You can use all the same size if you want, but it's kind of, I think it's kind of fun to mix and match. All right, I'm going to add 3 of those, and then we'll put these back. Our dish makes that convenient. And then I'm going to bring in the Ballet Slipper Jewels, also from Pink Fresh Studios. And we'll use a couple of these. Let's see. And that's going to bring out our pink. If I can get these turned around the right way. There we go. So pretty. Okay, we'll pop these back in here. And finally, we're going to go in with some Wink of Stella to add sparkle and shine. I'm going to go in over their hat and on our little heart and our whipped cream and the sweater. It's really hard to see if this is going down. I'm going to try to get some more of this flowing so I can actually tell that it's coming out of my tube here. And we'll do the scarf. And then we'll go along the edge of our snow bank to give our snow that sparkle and shine. Okay, guys, that completes our card. You can kind of almost, it's very hard to see the sparkle, but it is there from the Wink of Stella. It's so cute. I love how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will try this design for yourself, either with this stamp set or another stamp set that you may have that would work the same way. And please like and subscribe. And I will see you next time, guys. I have a big surprise coming in the next video, so I hope you'll stay tuned to see what that is. I'm kind of excited about it. So we'll see you next time. Bye.